Hi, I'm Peter Gordon. I'm a New Zealander and a chef. I've got restaurants in London and in New Zealand. What I'm going to show you is a wonderful dinner party dish. It's roast leg of lamb with vegetables which are enriched with yogurt and creme fraiche and a lovely pea salsa. It's a lovely thing to have in winter because it's nice and warming, but it's also fantastic in summer. It's great cooked on the barbecue, the lamb this way marinated, but you can take sort of aspects of it and do what you want with it, but it's a lovely, lovely dish. So what I'm going to start with first of all is making a marinade for the lamb, but instead of just putting the lamb in the marinade, I'm going to be making something I stick into the lamb itself. So what you want for that is some rosemary, fresh rosemary. What's great with this dish is it's quite kind of, I suppose it's not aspirational as such, but it's very restaurant-y. Something that if you've got a bit of time up your sleeve and you want to do something really impressive for your friends, this is the sort of dish you want to do. So some fresh rosemary, some garlic, pound it up. Then add a bit of chili powder, chili flakes, cayenne pepper, smoked paprika, something with a bit of bite to it. A bit of flaky salt, which helps the garlic and the rosemary grind up. This is the seasoning that's going to go into the lamb itself. And then a bit of extra virgin olive oil, really good flavour olive oil. So what you've got is a lovely paste, the red from the chili, really aromatic and flavoursome. It's great. Take your leg of lamb. What you want to do is use a small, thin, sharp knife. You want to be able to poke in there. So you want to go into the fleshy bits about 20 times or so. But try and remember where you've put these little holes, because what you're going to do next is push this marinade into them. So get it, and you poke the flavouring into the holes, and what this does is it gets inside the meat and it just flavours the whole thing. Any extra, just wipe it all across the lamb, get it nice and flavoursome. Now what you want to do is get this in the oven, but beforehand just wash your hands, because if you're handling raw meat you need to wash them before you do anything else. So I've got the oven at 170 degrees, which is a good temperature for doing this. And what I've done here is I've got a roasting pan on the bottom shelf of the oven, and it's going to catch all the juices from the lamb as it goes in. And I've got a rack set immediately above it. So take a cloth, take the lamb over to the oven, sit it on the rack above the roasting dish in the centre of the oven, and just sit it down there, and all the juices are going to dribble down into the pan, which is going to help the vegetables later on. Along with the lamb, I'm going to roast some vegetables, and what's great with these is that they roast underneath the lamb, so all the juices and the succulence comes down and lands on top of those. What you want are 3 carrots, peeled and cut into rings. 2 peeled onions, cut those into thick wedges or slices. Some potatoes that have been scrubbed, just cut those into wedges. And this leg of lamb is going to feed 6 people really well. A celeriac, one of my favourite vegetables, and it's a much underrated thing, and I think it's because it looks kind of ugly actually. It's a lumpy, big thing. It's beautiful flavour. What you want to do to prepare this, you can use a potato peeler if you want, but the skin is quite tough, so you're actually better to slice the skin off like this. Just cut around, not cutting in too deep. And with this, what you want to do is cut it into a dice, chunky dice, not too small, not too thick. And then butternut or pumpkin, depending on the time of year. Use what you like. Take the top off. And for this, I'm just going to use this long stalky bit here, which is a lot easier to peel. All the seeds live down here. But cut that off, and you can use a potato peeler, but again, the skin is quite tough, so you do run the risk of your peeler snapping. And cut this into nice chunks. Okay, Mix all this up with some bay leaves. Use fresh or dried bay leaves, about 4 of them, and some thyme. And you don't need to take it off the stem, you can just put it in the hole, give it a twist, bit of salt, some pepper, bit of olive oil, just give it a mix up, and after 20 minutes roasting, these are ready to go into the oven. Bring out your roasting dish. You can see there's already some lovely juices and oils in there. Tip the vegetables in. And back into the oven for about an hour. So they'll take an hour, at which point I'm going to turn the lamb about halfway through. So you're turning the lamb every 20-30 minutes or so just to let the colouring and the juices come through evenly. What I need to do next is make a pea salsa, lovely minted pea salsa. So it's a play on mint sauce and peas, and a lovely honey, rosemary and garlic glaze for the lamb, which gives it a beautiful finish.